This is Larry Henares making your day with the second and last part of Maria Angela C. Vina's article entitled Something Wicked But Not Enough. And we continue to quote and to conclude. Instead of sleepwalking and trying to wash the blood off his hands, this Lady Macbeth has a fevered dream of her dead child sitting in a pool of light with flecks of blood on his face. She is saying the same lines, but the context makes them take on an entirely different meaning. Instead of muttering, to bed, to herself, she's saying it to the ghost of her baby. The figure of a desolate mother is very human, but I can't help but feel that it is a misunderstanding of what part humanity Lady Macbeth is meant to portray. It is very human to try to fill up a void in your heart with things like power and prestige, but it is also very human to want power and prestige because they are power and prestige. Lady Macbeth in the play is an absolute ecstasy of joy at the thought of a crown for her husband and implicitly for herself. She's going to be queen, and she isn't about to let little things like treason, murder, or her husband's tender conscience get in her way. That is very human. The history of the human race is full of people just like Lady Macbeth. And just like her, a lot of them ended up with a crown on their heads. Admittedly, this is a very ugly side of humanity. And I already said that Macbeth is a play about ugly things. In fact, it's a play about one ugly thing in particular, Macbeth himself. He doesn't start out that way, of course. When the play begins, Macbeth is a brave warrior, a loyal vassal, a loving husband who is much too filled with the milk of human kindness. By the end of the play, he's a traitor, a tyrant who sends assassins to kill women and children, a coward who refuses to meet his opponent in battle, and he realizes that death by the sword is less humiliating than being tied to a pole like a pig brought to market. At the beginning of the play, the witches lie in wait for him and greet him, "All hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter." By the latter half, Macbeth is the one who seeks out the witches, and they cackle among themselves at his approach, saying, "By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes." Macbeth's fall is from a potential king to not even a wicked man, but a wicked thing. The witches do not even refer to him by his name any longer. More about this after these messages. This is Larry Henares making your day with the second and last part of Maria Angela C. Vina's article entitled Something Wicked But Not Enough. This 2015 adaptation of Macbeth has Michael Fassbender playing the part of a man who certainly falls. At the beginning of the movie, he's lighting the funeral pyre of his child, and towards the end he's burning the wife and children of his enemy at the stake. But the trouble is he doesn't fall far enough. He is still recognizably human, and it just doesn't jibe with the lines that come out of his mouth. He's tenderly holding his dead wife in his arms while he's comparing her life, to a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. He is kicking Macduff's ass all over the battlefield, still as brave as he has always been. And once he got his sword at his enemy's throat, suddenly he says that he won't fight him. Doesn't make any sense. This Macbeth isn't a wicked thing. He's schizophrenic. I understand that making bad guys sympathetic and giving them redeeming qualities is a way to make them more complex and appealing. But Shakespeare's Macbeth isn't supposed to be appealing. He should arouse disgust and not sympathy. If we feel any pity for him, it would be because he utterly destroyed everything that was good about himself. Macbeth, the play, isn't trying to present a gray space between good and evil. It is a play where the line between good and evil is sharp and clear. Macbeth doesn't even try to justify his actions to himself. His only reason for his treason is vaulting ambition. Evil in this play is completely selfish, completely ruthless and destructive, and it needs no other reason other than its own desires. It isn't supposed to be complex. It's supposed to be frightening. I think that is where Polanski's version of Macbeth succeeds, where this one fails. Polanski crafted a Macbeth that was scary, ugly, and disgusting when it had to be. In short, it was Macbeth. This 2015 version has the same names, the same lines, but is something else entirely. This is Larry Henares, making your day, saying good day, God bless you. Thank you very much for being with us. Till next time, hasta la bye-bye.